Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another episode, another edition of Iconic Views and Opinion. And today we have the wonderful privilege of having the one and only teacher Funke, Mrs. Akpan, as our guest speaker today. And the topic of our discussion today is teachers' professional development, an indispensable tool for school growth. And like I mentioned earlier, we have the privilege of having Mrs. Funke Akpan, popularly known as Teacher Funke, as our guest speaker today. So before we kickstart the program, as usual, I have my team, my wonderful team, Mr. Kodri Yusuf and Mrs. Chinaza Pupola. It's a pleasure having you again with me. Thank you for all you do. Thank you. So before we launch fully, I'm going to read the profile of our guest speaker. Mrs. Funke Akpan is passionate about educational technology. She's an innovative educator and digital citizenship advocate. She is passionate about leveraging technology to transform education. With a strong background in education management, curriculum development, and teachers training, she empowers educators and students with 21st century skills needed to thrive in a digital world. As the founder of Top Flighter Academy, now known as Top Flighter Educational Consult Limited, she leads initiatives that promote AI-driven learning, extended reality, animation in education, and SDG focused education. She also organizes the annual Digital Citizenship Conference, equipping students with the knowledge to navigate technology responsibly while preparing them for the future of work. She holds a bachelor's degree in English language from the prestigious University of Lagos and has earned several global recognition, including Microsoft Innovative Education Educator Expert, Google Digital Google Digital Skills Ambassador, Empathico Ambassador, Ed Positive Coach, social emotional learning activist, and digital citizenship educator. In addition to her work with Top Flyers Academy, she is the lead tutor at Top Flyers Online School, where she shares high quality and accessible online education for learners from different backgrounds. Her work involves integrating artificial intelligence, extended reality, and elimination into education to create interactive, immersive, and student-centered learning experiences. She also conducts teachers training sections, workshops and webinars on educational technology, digital literacy, and innovative teaching methodologies. Please, let's welcome Mrs. Akpan Funke. Welcome, ma. And please say
Thank you so much, Shona.
hello to our audience. Welcome you.
All right, thank you so much, Mrs. Bessie, for having me this evening. It's a great privilege to be here. Yeah, I really appreciate everything that you do in the educational space. Pray that God will continue to strengthen you more and more and your team in the name of Jesus. And I pray that this your labor in the educational space will not be in vain and to yield bountiful result. And to everybody listening, good evening, everybody, and it's a privilege to be here this evening. And I believe that we're going to have value for our time this evening. So I hope we have our writing materials. Okay, so it's going to be an interactive section. We are all going to be learning together. Thank you so much for having me here once again.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Akpan. We are so grateful to have you with us. So our topic for discussion today for our conversation is teachers' professional development, an indispensable tool for school growth. Most times when you mention teachers development, professional, most teachers start giving you excuses. And this is one of the reasons why we need to dissect this topic and make teachers understand why they need this and the importance of this to us. So, Ma, we would like you to throw your light on many teachers complain of lack of access to continuous professional development courses. So, how can school leaders, how can they resolve this and improve access to professional development for their teachers? Thank you. Would like to hear your opinion on this.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. How can school owners help the teacher to continuously improve themselves? Okay, that's a great one. So, I think it goes okay. Before we ask that, it's good that school owners actually help to create an environment where teachers can strive, where they can grow. So before I talk about school owner, let's talk about the individual, the teachers themselves. Okay, so I'm a teacher. I've been
Mm-hmm.
in the teaching profession for more than a decade, and I've worked in organizations where the environment, where teachers' growth is not in the school culture at all. So they believe that teachers' growth should be something that is personal. I've also worked in another organization whereby they take teachers' growth as something that is a priority every time. They every time usually have people coming in to train the teachers, so it depends on the culture. So yeah, we need school leaders to promote professional development for staff members. So before we talk about school leaders doing that, but we as teachers ourselves, are we lifelong learners? Because talking about professional development, it's me really, I see it as a personal thing before it becomes a general thing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I personally, when I was in the classroom, the physical classroom, I don't wait for schools for my leaders to come and train me. I go out there and train myself, and that is where what we call personal development comes in. So the teacher
Mm-hmm.
who has developed his or herself personally, because there are two things: you develop yourself personally and then professionally. So if you have professional development but you don't have personal development, it will show. There will be a flop. There will be a gap. So, firstly, before you talk about professional development as a teacher, you need to first of all develop yourself first. That's very important. And that involves improving yourself in various aspects of your life to improve yourself as a teacher mentally, socially, emotionally, even spiritually. Because this profession it goes beyond just staying in front of the class, holding a pen, holding your marker, and the likes. What teachers we are molding lives, and it goes beyond academic. So this work we are doing is a spiritual work. Yeah. Because there are cases whereby we had to go spiritual to help a child. Meaning that sometimes I had to like pray for a particular child who was struggling in the class. So teachers this day and time need to go beyond just academic growth and also like we mentioned personal growth which has to do with improving yourself socially, academically, spiritually, and even emotional and even physically, and that will help that individual to become a better individual overall. So when you focus first on your personal development, it will create self-awareness. So if I'm
Mm-hmm.
not aware of myself, if I've not identified who I am, okay, I might not know the area where I need to develop professionally. So knowing myself, having self-awareness is very, very important. And that also boils down to
Yeah.
emotional intelligence. We have so many teachers out there that are professionally developed, but when it comes to the issue of emotions, they cannot manage themselves. That's why you see teachers with
Mm.
first class from school who have like 20, they've bought like 20, 30 certificates in this PhD, this is that. But with the slightest little behavior from a child, what happened? What happens? They kind of their emotion is out of the mood. So what they do, they kind of bastardize the child's mood and the like. So having that professional development is not but we first of all we need to develop ourselves personally, and then that would also goes to our mindset, our habits. Okay, in person, develop yourself personally. You also try to train yourself. You also grow yourself. You have positive mindset, a growth mindset. It is as an individual you have a growth mindset. So if you have a growth mindset, that is what you transcend into professional development. So and then also that will also help to improve your lifestyle, and also we have life skills. So personal development also entails life skills. Okay, although we know that in developing yourself professionally, you have some life skills, but that can be done if you first of all try to improve yourself beyond the professional ethic. So when a teacher develops herself personally, it helps to grow the person as an individual. You're growing. It helps to also improve your quality of life, and helps you to build better relationship with the kids, the children, even the teenagers, sorry, the teenagers, yes, even the staff, your colleagues at work, and help you to achieve balance in life and fulfillment. So a quick one on professional development, which has to do with acquiring new skills, knowledge and competencies that enhances your ability to perform better. This is very, very important. We're not going to say that professional development is not important. It is important, but it is better if we have these two together. If you have a teacher who is able to balance his or her life, who identifies who has gained self-mastery and then also gain professional mastery, that's a very good one than just being professionally developed. You're very good professionally, but as an individual, your character, what is your character like? Okay, so now let's go back to schools helping their staff members. So like I mentioned, so it first has to begin with the teachers, like I said, and then the school building a culture that can help staff to thrive. Okay, so I've also worked in schools whereby they create an environment for growth, but do the teachers embrace
Mhm.
that growth? I've seen schools send teachers on trainings, but we don't see the impact of those trainings in the classrooms. So some schools are trying to do that, but it still goes back to the teachers involved. So what the school leaders can do is to themselves, they need to be role models. They need to be role models. Role model. It is a leader that's able to a leader who is not satisfied with just being a local champion or being a mediocre. That's the leader that's going to push other the staff or colleagues to do better. So if you have a leader who is always longing for more, okay, it will show in the quality of teachers you're having. If I'm a leader that likes to learn, I love going to for trainings, I love to update my CV every now and then. I will ensure that my staff, my colleague do the same. But if you have school leaders who do not really care about acquiring more knowledge, it will also show in their staff members. So they're not going to truly create that culture where everybody strives to get better, everybody try to stay on the trend, try to stay on point or updated when it comes to the classroom, the educational space. So I think it's very, very important that school leaders create a growth environment, a good culture. So if that is done, then teachers too can strive. Okay, so let me just stop there.
Mhm. Yeah, thank you so much, Mrs. Akpan. Thank you. Like you said, everything starts with the individual teacher, because the teachers also have to have this mindset that they need to develop themselves. And sometimes through, you're right, to change. They are supposed to change. So they rather stay in that the other stay at that point where they are, instead of them taking seizing the opportunity which they have been given to develop themselves. So, Mrs. Chinaza, I'd like you to throw a little bit of light on this before we move to the next section of this conversation.
Okay, good afternoon. Just Mrs. Akpan rightly said, it has to do with your own personal development. It is a choice you have
Mhm.
to make for yourself first. Do I actually want to grow? It's all about growth. want to grow. So irrespective of any professional course, any professional training you must have, attended, must have even maybe your outline, I want to attend this course, I want to attend this course. I still feel that most teachers, they just want to add a lot of, portfolios. Are you getting me? They just want to add a lot of certificates, the portfolios. They just want to add a lot of certificates to their CVs. So, when it comes to competition, who have attended the most trainings, who have this, I have this, you don't have that, forgetting the main thing, which has to do with your personal development. Like, it has to show. It has to show.
Yeah.
When we have 6 teachers in a school and a particular one, just 1 out of 6 is thriving more, there's a particular thing that teacher is doing. And just like she rightly said, you discover that most of these people, let's say they went for trainings. Let's say we have 6 teachers and they went for training. But out of those 6, just one person is doing more. Are you getting me? Just one person, we're getting the right feedback from that person. So now it now boils down to, what training did you go to? Out of this training, what did you get out of this training? So it still goes back to that particular teacher. What have you learned? How do you want to grow? So it's a matter of choice. It has to do with choice. And when it comes to personal development, we teachers, we educators, we are the heart of professional development, because we are the central part of that personal development, professional development. So it's a choice. It's a choice. And when it comes to the teaching sector, I don't think anybody pushed or to do that. We should have this. Are you getting me? I want to aim higher. I want to friends. I want to impact, not that we forgot. Like, when you leave organization, your name is ringing bells. Like, even friend, are you getting? Don't be surprised when a child keeps saying your name and even keep telling that new teacher, oh, this teacher was here. When the teacher that left the legacy, left an impact. So your personal development. So it doesn't matter the professional course gone for. If you have that, you don't have that. I want to be better. I want to be different. I want to have an edge over other teachers. And so that's my mistake. It has to start from something that you are with effectively and consistently.
Thank you so much. It starts with every one of us. It starts with everyone. So let's imagine a scenario in which the school leaders have provided opportunity for teachers to undergo professional development. But what I like to add there is not only providing the opportunity. Some teachers are carrying workload. Now, with this workload, they don't even have breathing space. So what time do they have to undergo this professional development? So, Mrs. Akpan, please would like your view on that. Many teachers have a lot of workload. So, what is the role of the school leaders in providing the time, the space for teachers to undergo professional development? Please would like to hear from you.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. So, what the school leaders can do to help teachers to create a work-life balance, because as a teacher, our work goes beyond just teaching in the classroom. Sometimes we as teachers too, we take up administrative tasks. For instance, now when it's time for, let's say, end of the year party, teachers are the one that will still train the learners in maybe dances, club activities. We are there. We are still the one that will represent the school at one event or the other. So I think that what school owners can do to help to create a balance is that they can help to reduce this workload by ensuring that the trainings, they can organize trainings that will take place within the school hours or within the school time. Okay, so we usually have time for clubs and the likes. So why don't we just
Yeah.
create in while creating our calendar? There's nothing bad in scheduling in one time, one day, or maybe a Friday. Fridays are always short days. After school, 2, 3 hours after school, so that teachers to cause some most time what schools do is that they allow this training to also affect the teacher's life, that's their lives outside of the school. Imagine having a training that will span for weeks during the holidays where they are meant
Mm-hmm.
to be with their family members. I've had to work in a place whereby we don't go on holidays. It is that holiday you're meant to be resting that you'll be in school 247 training. We'll be going, although the training is good, but how then what happens to our own personal life? So what school leaders can do is to create a calendar that will suit the teachers, that will ensure that it doesn't affect their own individual personal life. So everything in the school calendar, we have activities, everything is activity. Why don't we also embed teacher trainings inside the school calendar? Why does it have to go outside the school calendar? Most sometimes we have like 12 to 13 weeks of teaching and learning. So why don't you have PD also inside that 12 to 13 weeks? Does it have to be outside the school calendar? I'm not sure it should be. Okay, and then what schoolers can also do is I know that for some school it's not easy to get more hands to be on board, like in the administrative
Mm-hmm.
environment. So that's why some teachers they have to do the work of a teacher and admin and so many other even exam bodies they are there. So what we can do is if probably maybe when they're doing their school fees, if they can put all those things in place, because it's not very good to have all the workload on a teacher. And then what they can also do is to encourage teacher collaboration. So if they cannot send the whole staff on it for a training, why don't they send one
Yeah.
or two? And then those two that were sent comes back to train the other people. Okay, so I think that is also better instead of
Yeah.
totally to scrap their professional development. So school owners can do that, and then also like I've mentioned that they need to take in more hands. Then they need to put PD into the school calendar. It should not be sometimes outside of the school calendar. In the school calendar, we have each
Mm-hmm.
weekly activities. Why don't you have PDs embedded in each weekly
Yeah.
activities? Another thing that we as teachers can do, some things that usually discourage school leaders is that maybe, for instance, at some point they've sent us on trainings and then they are not able to see the effect of that training in our classroom. So they can also track the effectiveness of PDs, okay, or
Yeah.
professional development programs, and then they can link them to student achievement and even the teacher satisfaction. So if a teacher goes on a training or goes attends a course, so after maybe for example 2 to 3 weeks or a month, so is do we do are they able to measure any change in that teacher and also in the learners? Like I said earlier, most teachers like Ms. Bukola said, teachers they love to have so many portfolios, but we don't see the effect of those certificates in their work. I can't go for a training and then I don't come back and then everything that was said at the training and then what I do is I carry it out in the classroom. Your classroom is your testing ground. So there is no time I go for trainings that everybody in my school does not if they don't see that effect. The children will see they will see the impact. Even the school itself will see the impact of that training. So if we teachers can do more, we go for trainings programs. Let's ensure that there is a great impact, okay, being felt by the school or by our classroom due to the courses or whatever program or training that we've attended.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. The classroom is the testing ground of our professional development. And like you said, there is no use going for professional development without implementing what you have learned in those trainings. There's no need going for it. So it all boils down, like you said in your opening statement, it all boils down to the individual teachers. Even if the school is not providing training for you, and if they are providing training for you, everything boils down to the individual teacher. Everything has to do with the teacher's mindset. We have schools that they don't provide training, but those teachers are developing themselves. Like I wrote in my article just, I think yesterday, always look at the bigger picture. Some teachers be like, when I'm teaching, when I'm working, they don't need it. Why am I stressing myself? Look, when you look at the bigger picture, you will see something bigger, and that will prepare you to do something better, to stay updated and remain relevant, because you don't know where opportunity will come, and when they come knocking, success is the result of opportunity meeting preparation. When opportunity meet preparation, success is sure. So thank you so much for that insight. And also, we'd like to hear from Mr. Kodri. Please, we'd like to share your insight on promoting a good mindset in teachers, so that they can harness the opportunity, whether they have it from the school, or the one they have access to on the social media. What mindset, how they can cultivate a good mindset that will promote their professional growth. So let's hear from you, sir.
Oh, okay, yes. Well, to me, I have a lot to say on this right mindset, because everything begins from the mind. If you have PhD, if you have first a wrong mindset, you pollute, you know unknowingly pollute the minds of the learner, and if care is not taken, other teachers in the so so the first thing for success to thrive, for us to achieve success, is to have the right mindset. No matter what we go through, no matter what happens, no matter what we are passing through, when you have the right mindset and you have the belief that this is your calling, whatever you are doing in the classroom will be a lasting legacy on the minds of the student, and you are doing that as an imprint, as your own uh, as, as your own quota for growth to either to the school or to the country or to the nation at large. Believe me, with the right mindset, you can achieve everything. So teachers need to have the right mindset towards training, so that even if the school does not provide that conducive environment for them, they'll find ways to talk to the school, convince them that this training that I'm doing will also be a plus, will also help to promote your school in a better light. So no matter what you're going through, with the right mindset, even if you don't have it, try to you know you know teachers that are doing well in those fields. Find out about teachers that are doing well. In fact, find out from teachers that are even passing through worst of what you are passing through, so that you will understand that you are not alone. So with the right mindset, no matter what you're going, in fact, no matter what you're earning, I have teachers that are earning 20,000 naira. Yes, think big, start small, and grow rich. That should be the mindset of any teacher, because bills are piling up. If you are not married, if you don't have things that you have to cater for as time goes by, get married. Either you're a female or a male, you have siblings, you have people around, they will ask you for bills. You understand? And where does that come from? If you are well child, if you are well child, if you have the right mindset, believe me, you would want to believe that the sky is yours to just point. So if you are a teacher, you have it doesn't matter. You can see, and with the right mindset, you will achieve anything that you want to achieve. Because I as a gatesman, and that person general manager, GM. So it doesn't matter. If I use myself as an example, I started in this profession just 2018 September, less than a year. I became the principal. Why? Because I was so committed to everything. In fact, I try all the rules in the industry, no matter who is calling me. In fact, I don't want to know. I will not pick the call until when I'm done with the class. So, and I try to ask my students, how have I impacted in your life? What are the mistakes that I am doing that is affecting your learning process? You understand? So, and so doing, I try to go for more content, even when the school does not support. Oh, sorry, school, this is how it will help you. This is what you understand. I open their eyes to so many other areas they are not even used to. You understand? And before you know it, you're doing well. So teachers will have the right mindset that you are called to this profession to come and make a positive impact, not only in the life of that student, because that student will leave the classroom one day, will graduate, go out to the world. But whatever knowledge, whatever influence you have passed on to that learner, believe me, it will go a long way. And don't forget, anything that we are doing, we should have it in mind that if you train a child very well, you don't know how that child will come back to train your own child. So don't have that wrong mindset. Oh, Shebi, I'm just trying to earn my salary. I'm not trying to make ends meet. No, I tell my teachers we are here and I'm working. I come to this school to learn, not to brag. No, that is the second option. I come here to learn, to improve my ability, to improve my knowledge in this profession, so that in fact I have something that is was earning less than 25,000 naira. Less than a year, that person is earning over 150,000 naira. Why? Because that person have the right mindset. So be focused. Understand that to do it right. If you want it to be done right, you have to be part of that person that will do it right. No other person. When you have that mindset that you are part of that person that will make this nation, that will make this learner, that will make this school, that will make this industry to be a very you'll be proud of. Let's believe and let everything fall onto that as if you're the only person that can do it right. But and just like other speakers have said, we need to grow the right mental, social, emotional, and also financial capabilities so that we can better impact this learner. So the right mindset is very, very important. And no matter what, believe me, every teacher, every school owners have their own challenges. So your own can't be the only one. The teachers that even go first, and they are not letting that to affect the classroom. Why? Because why? They have the right mindset. Teachers will be earning more than those senators in more than those bankers, more than you understand? Because this profession is a very new profession. And if you do it with the right mindset, and in fact you will get everything that you need to. So the right mindset is very, very important. And with the right mindset, you will achieve a lot because with the right mindset alone is not enough. You need to get trained through trainings so that right mindset will help through that training to achieve what you want to achieve. Thank you, man.
Thank you so much. A lot of things have been said, and I appreciate all our impact, all our input on this in this conversation. So we are going to the last section of this edition, which is non-teaching staff. Most time, teacher professional development in school, we we are always sorry about that. Sorry. So most time we are now in the third section, the last section of this edition. Most time when we think about professional development in school, we only refer to the teaching staff. What about the non-teaching staff? Is this professional development is it not also important for them because they form a critical and an important aspect of the school growth? So this is happen. I would like to hear your opinion on on the professional development of non-teaching staff in our school.
All right, thank you so much, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, 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 ma'am.
Yes, I
All right,
can. Yes,
okay,
you
all
can.
right. Thank you so much, Mr. Yusuf. That was an awesome one. Just to add one or two to what you just said, I think teachers, one thing that can also help us have a good mindset is that we learn from our mistakes. Okay, and we should also cultivate the habit of accepting feedbacks, even feedback from your learners. Okay, so what I do is at the end of every term, I ask every child in the class to write a note on the time or how teacher Funke was behaved or how the total overall performance of teacher Funke in the class for that term. So when I collate all this feedback from my learners, that will now help me to know where I need to develop or to work on as a teacher. So and lastly, teacher me to see challenges as opportunities for growth. Imagine there was a time I had like 6 to 7 learners in my class who were kinesthetic learners. These are learners that are usually very super active in the class. So teacher, we don't really like to having those kind of learners in the class. It always disrupts. Let me just put in quote. So having those learners in the class then helped me to like, okay, there is a challenge. I don't know how to manage learners that are kinesthetic. So that made me to go ahead and learn more about them. So if teachers are faced with any challenge in the class, let's see those challenges as opportunities to learn, to grow. Okay, so now coming back to the non-teaching staff. The non-teaching staff, they are also part of the school environment. So they should not be treated as like they should not be sidelined. In a classroom, in a school environment, we are meant to work towards inclusive school culture, inclusive school environment. So inclusivity is not about the class where you have some special needs learners. No, inclusivity is having the non-teaching staff being carried along, having the right benefits that they should have, not just their salary. They also need to benefit from other things aside their salary. So what can we do? So having our non-teaching staff trained is also very important to the school success. Imagine that you enter a school and the whole compound is dirty. So anybody that entered the school with a dirty compound, they will not see the sanitation managers, they will see the school as a dirty school. It is the name of the school that will be flagged as a not so good school. So that's why they should see everybody as a integral part of the school. So what can do there are some areas whereby non-teaching staff can be trained. Number one is safeguarding and child protection. Non-TV staff should know that it is their right to protect every child in their care. Every child that goes to the toilet should not be harmed. Every child that goes to the toilet should be properly taken care of. And then they should also be able to identify abuse in the children. Sometimes it might not be the non-teaching staff that will abuse a child or a learner. It could be those in the academic space that can abuse a child. So imagine if a non-teaching staff is aware or knows the signs of child abuse or a child being abused, they can escalate the matter. And then also they should be trained on how they can report to protocols. You see, maybe an class assistant talking anyhow to teachers, although it's not even advisable. It doesn't matter if you're a teaching staff or not a teaching staff, everybody is the same. You should not see or look down on anybody despite whatever qualification or whatever level they are in life. So they should also know that they should, it is an official environment. They should learn the right way to communicate matters even to the right quarters. And then also, like I mentioned, communication skills. We should be trained on how to communicate, on how they can interact with parents, how they can interact with the students, and how they can interact with even their colleagues. I think they should also be trained on conflict resolution, how they can be an active listener, and how to also achieve customer service. It is not only teachers or school admins that are giving customer service. The non-teaching staff are also giving customer service, and customer service is a big thing on its own. They should also be trained in that area, and also they should be trained in how they can manage the school system. Okay, every school has a culture, every organization has a culture. For example, there was a place I worked where every non-teaching staff is expected to be at work as early as 6:30. In some places, 8 o'clock you can walk in. So the staff too needs to understand the school culture. Not two schools have the same culture. Every school has their own culture. And when you're going new into a school, everything that you know about the other school, let it end there. And then open-minded to embrace the culture of the new school. And then lastly, is that every non-teaching staff should be trained on health and safety training, on health and safety. Okay, how they can attend to first aid, how they can attend to fire drills, how they can attend to any emergency. It could be maybe this bus, the school, in the school bus, those who go, the school bus conductor, or a child starts vomiting. Do they know what to do? A child is convulsed in the school bus. Do they know what to do? And others, they should be trained first hand. They should have first hand knowledge on first aid, emergency preparedness, how they can prepare, they can attend to emergency situation. So what school owners can do, or school leaders can do, is to ensure regular workshops and induction programs. Whenever a new non-teaching staff is being employed, they should have an induction program, not just for teaching staff alone. Non-teaching staff should also have this, and then they should be given a specific role at the beginning of the work at that place. They should have like a job description. Mind you, some people don't know what that job description is. Some people just think, that's not my work. Meanwhile, no, safety is not, no, safety is for everybody. And there should also be mentorship for non-teaching staff. There should be mentorship for them. And lastly is that school owners or school leaders should learn to recognize their efforts. The fact that they are not in the light most times, they are always in the backyard doing their work. They should also create rooms to celebrate these people. Teachers, we cannot be in the class and be in the toilet at the same time. We can't be in the class and be in the garden at the same time. We can't be in the class and be on the school in the school bus at the same time. So these people today are working. They are really doing a lot of work. So they should be celebrated. They should be seen. They should be heard, and they should be motivated in any little way. All right. So thank you so much for that.
Thank you so much. Sorry, I had to mute when you were speaking, and I forgot to unmute. Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. Akpan, for that insightful contribution. Non-teaching staff, they are integral part, essential part of the school system. And there's something I want to add also, teachers should respect non-teaching staff. Teachers also have to respect them. Like Mrs. Akpan said, if you come to a school environment and everywhere is dirty, nobody is looking for the cleaner, nobody looks for the janitor. Their mind is the teachers, the school. What are they doing about this dirty environment? So the non-teaching staff, the support staff, administrative staff, members, they also need this professional development. And like she has said, child protection, safeguarding, communication, social emotional skills. These are essential aspects of their professional development, not only for the non-teaching staff, also for the teachers. Thank you so much, Mrs. Akpan and
It's my pleasure, ma.
Mrs. Bukola. Please, would like you to just add one or two opinion to this, and we'll call the program a wrap. Okay.
Okay.
So any party word from you?
Okay. In regards to when teachers can have their trainings, the previous school where I taught, what we do is that we all know, I don't know how other states do it, but Lagos states, private schools, sorry, teachers resume a week before the resumption day. I don't know if they still do it. Do
Mm-hmm.
they still? So I feel that
Yeah, it's good.
be a training week too, because at that first week we come into the class, right? We come into the school to arrange our classes, to make sure everything is in place and all that. We get our new scheme of work and all that for the new section and the new class. So I think that period, that first week, we can also chip in 1 or 2 days for the training. So that's that about that. Now, concerning the personal development and the professional development, I would like to add that just like we've said about mindset, we should just cultivate the growth mindset. We've been talking about mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what mindset should we have as educators, as teachers? We are lifelong learners. We learn every day. We even learn from these children. We learn from these children. We can't know it all. So we should have this growth mindset that we are growing. We are not there yet. We are growing. We are picking every word as we are going. We are picking every corrections. We are developing ourselves. So we should not always wait for the schools. And I would like to add that a school that is not seeing growth and improvement would not want to waste their money to train any staff. I know of this. I don't know if it's rightly to mention, but Middle Hall, I think the last summer they just finished the Edu Camp, 50,000 naira per teacher, per person. Imagine, let's say they want to give discount for maybe just 2 teachers or 3. The school is paying more. So if the school is not improved in you as a teacher, they would not want to further any more training. So it now boils down to you. And when they see this particular teacher that is always, gearing up to align to new things, growing and everything, they will also want to support. Out of so many teachers, they just want to pick one. And you know what that brings, envy and all that. So I think we as educators, we as teachers, we should just have that mindset. This teaching is a profession. As far as you say you want to be an educator, you want to be a teacher, online, offline, physical, or whatever cliche you may want to go into. The thing is that you should always have that mind in you, that mindset that I want to do, I want to impact. What brought you into the teaching in the first place? There's a goal. I want to impact. So I don't think anybody should be forced for you to develop yourself, because at the end of the day, whatever you learn is what you carry for a lifetime.
Yeah,
It is you.
yeah,
You go, even if you say you want to be on your own, it is what you learn, how you place yourself, how you push yourself. That is how you'll be. If you say you want to be dormant, you just want to be a teacher that they'll be pushing, they must force you. When will you submit your lesson plan? When will you submit your this? When will you submit your that? That is how you will continue to be. So we should just know that whatever you do, you are doing for yourself. The way we teach children, we tell them that if you want to become a doctor, if you want to become a lawyer, if you want to become an engineer, this is the right way to go. So also we should also have that mindset that if I want to be this, I have to be this. So don't push you as a
yeah.
teacher. I don't, because we are adults, teachers, let's say we are adults. So nobody should push you for you to have that growth. You put the lifelong growth for you. So I'd like to leave with that.
Okay. Thank you so much. Oh, it has been an insightful conversation. I appreciate everyone's input. We appreciate our guest speaker. And we hate to go, but we have to. Thank you so much, Mrs. Akwan, for honoring our invitation. Thank you, Mr. Kodri, always there. And the beautiful Mrs. Chinaza. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support. And thank you, viewers. Thank you. If you have any questions, you can drop it in the comment section and we will attend to them. Thank you so much. And that's a wrap for today. See you in the next edition of Education Views and Opinion, where your views count and your opinions matter. So bye for now.
Thank you so much, everybody. Bye.
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 Bye.